Hey, people! We be talking about the original manufactured boy band that somehow became more real than anyone expected, the Monkees. Picture this. It's the mid-60s, and a TV show is born. Four actor musicians are handpicked from over 400 hopefuls to play a struggling rock band. And just like that, the world met Mickey, Davy, Michael, and Peter. First up, Mickey Dolenz. He was a former child actor who had to learn the drums from scratch just for the show. Talk about dedication. Then there was Davy Jones, the British heartthrob fresh off Broadway, who instantly captured hearts everywhere. Next, we have Michael Nesmith, a serious musician and songwriter who was rarely seen without his signature green wool hat. He brought a genuine musical credibility to the group. And finally, Peter Tork, a multi-talented folk musician from the Greenwich Village scene, who could play keyboards, bass, and just about anything else you handed him. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Initially, the Monkees were just the faces and the voices, the music. That was handled by a powerhouse team of professional songwriters like Neil Diamond and Carole King, with the legendary session musicians known as the Wrecking Crew laying down the instrumental tracks. Some people called them the pre-Fab Four because they were on a real band in the traditional sense. But you know what? The public didn't care. The Monkees were an absolute phenomenon. Their success was staggering. They scored 4 consecutive #1 albums and gave us 3 iconic #1 singles. Last Train to Clarksville, I'm a Believer, and Daydream Believer. Think about that. These songs are still classics today. In 1967, a year that was packed with legendary music, the Monkees outsold both the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Combined, that's not just successful, that's a cultural takeover. But behind the scenes, a rebellion was brewing. The band members were tired of being musical puppets. They wanted creative control, led by Michael Nesmith. They fought the producers for the right to write their own songs and play their own instruments on their records. And they won. The result was the 1967 album, Headquarters, the first record where they truly were the band. It was a bold statement and a fantastic album that proved they had the talent to back up their fame. Of course, all good things must come to an end. The TV show was canceled in 1968 after just 2 seasons. They followed it up with a bizarre, surreal psychedelic film called Head, which confused audiences and critics alike, but has since become a cult classic. After that, the band started to fracture, and by 1970, they had officially broken up. But the story doesn't end there. The Monkees' legacy has had incredible staying power. They experienced a massive resurgence in 1986 when MTV decided to air a marathon of their old TV episodes. A whole new generation fell in love with their zany humor and timeless tunes. They've reunited for tours and new albums multiple times over the decades, proving their chemistry was real. Tragically, over the years, we've had to say goodbye to most of the original members. The world lost the charming Davy Jones in 2012. The wonderfully quirky Peter Tork passed away in 2019, followed by the brilliant Michael Nesmith in 2021. Today, Mickey Dolenz carries the torch as the sole surviving member, keeping the music and the spirit of the Monkees alive for fans old and new. From a fabricated TV band to a legitimate musical force, the Monkees' story is one of a kind. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories behind the music. See you next time.